It's not debatable that the market has changed, in my opinion. We have seen the market slow down a bit, and sellers are not in the catbird seat that they once were in. And let me be perfectly clear. It is not a buyer's market. The dynamics have changed, however, and here's how they've changed. It's taking longer for listings to sell. They're having fewer offers on the listings when they're selling. Buyers don't have to give away as much. And in fact, they may be able to drive a better bargain, so they'll get incrementally a better price. And in general, it's becoming a market more of equilibrium where a negotiation actually happens. And buyers don't have to, and I'm going to say it, whore themselves to get the purchase. With that in mind, it's important for sellers to understand, and this message is directed at you sellers, that pricing your property is really, really important. And I want to talk with you today about how you should look at what we realtors call the comparable listings. It's the closed sales, the active listings, and the pending sales. We're going to look at them differently than we did a year ago. And let's start with the closed sales. Typically, an appraiser will use sales that have occurred in the last 6 months to come up with a fair market value for your property. And that's great because in a slowly declining market, it means that there's going to be less chance that your appraisal is going to come in low. That's the good part. The bad part is they could lull you to sleep into believing that your price should be higher when you go to the market. And here's my rule of thumb right now. I would not consider any sales that were under contract before April 1st. So there's the contract date, and then there's the date that they closed. So when did they accept the contract? If it was before April 1st, I wouldn't consider it because sales that closed in June may have gone under contract in March. Also, once you know the contract date, the closer the closing date is to the day that you're considering going to the market, the more relevant that sold listing is. I wouldn't go back any further if you've got enough data available. I wouldn't go back any further than 60 days, okay? So we've shortened the time that we consider closed sales significantly. Secondly, we have active listings. And many times an active listing can lull you to sleep in thinking that your property is worth more than it is. Example, if your neighbor's been on the market at 1.5 million, well, why wouldn't you price at 1.5 million? Well, we want to look very closely at a number of things. Number one, we want to look at their days on market. Number two, we want to look at their original price and any subsequent price reductions. The days on market is important because in today's world, if you've been on the market 14 days and you're not having significant activity, then you're probably overpriced. If we see that the original price has been changed to a new price and they've been at that price more than 14 days, that's telling you something. If we see another price reduction and another price reduction, it tells you that the market is waiting for them to get to the right price point in order to sell. The other thing that as a listing agent I can do for you is check with each of those listing brokers and find out if they're having significant activity, if they have had offers, and if we have a seller that's just stuck at 1.5 million and wouldn't take $1,475,000, well, that tells us something and we have to put that into the mix too. So we want more information on those active listings other than just the price. And then finally, what I think is a really good indicator of the market today is what we call pending sales. Those are contracts that have been entered into relatively recently. They're working through the contingency process, getting the financing, and they may be closing in the next 30 days. We want to pay special attention to those, and what your agent needs to do is check in with each one of those listing agents and find out where that listing is going to close. Now, most listing agents won't release the closing amount, but they will tell you what date it will close. And many times, if you ask the right question, they will give you a ballpark value that they're at. And so rather than just saying, what price are you in escrow at? The way to do it elegantly is to go and say, by the way, you're priced at $1.5 million. I'm curious, are you close to that price? And if they say, yes, they are, you can then ask, are you above $1.475 million? And the answer to those questions will tell you where they're at. And that's really good information to have because it'll allow you to assess what price you need to be at. At the end of the day, we need to take those 3 different types of comparable listings to judge against, throw them into a mix up our cake, and come up with a value that's best for you, the seller. And we want that value to be a price that's going to get your house under contract in the next 14 days. If we're not under contract in 14 days, then we've missed on the price. So I want you to think about that. If you have any questions about your unique situation or just want to talk real estate with me, feel free to call me. My number is 808-398-3220, and I'd be happy to chat with you. You have a great day.